Welcome to Zone 6 Picks, your go-to source for daily sports betting predictions, expert insights, and free picks across the biggest games in the NBA, WNBA, NFL, NCAA, and more. We specialize in delivering accurate, research-backed betting content with no subscriptions, no hidden fees, just straightforward betting advice you can trust. Before we get started, a quick shout-out from my partner Zone 6.
What's up, family? Thanks for tapping in with Zone 6 Picks, where we drop game picks every single day. Straight free picks, no pay for play. If you like winning, this is the zone you need to be in, Zone 6. Just show the channel some love, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't never miss a money play. Let's eat.
Zone 6 went 0-2 last night. No duck in it, but let's keep it a buck. The WNBA is wishy-washy, volatile, and wild on any given night. That's the game we're in, but we don't fold with the swings. We adjust and fire back. The bounce back is on deck, and the winners are coming. Stay locked in, because the storm always clears, and when it does, we eat. Now let's get to the bag. We've got a key Thursday night matchup on deck. Las Vegas Aces versus Indiana Fever, tipping off at 7 p.m. Eastern in Indiana. The spread is tight at -2.5 in favor of the Aces, but let's break down why Vegas might be the sharper side tonight. The Aces come into this one rolling, winners of 3 straight and 5 of their last 6. They just handled the Atlanta Dream 87-72. And for the first time all season, they're clicking with rhythm and chemistry. Indiana, not so much. They've dropped 2 straight by double digits, including an ugly 14-point loss to the Liberty. Let's address the elephant in the room. Caitlin Clark is out with a groin injury. That's a massive blow to the Fever's offense and morale. Indiana is 8-5 with Clark, and just 4-7 without her. The net rating swings nearly 9 points when she's off the floor. On the other side, Cheyenne Parker-Tyus is still out for Vegas, but this team has adapted well in her absence. Ajah Wilson is on an absolute tear, averaging nearly 32 points and 13 boards per game during this win streak. She's hit her points prop in 5 of her last 7 games, including 2 monster 30-plus point performances. Last time she faced Indiana, 29 points. She's a problem, and the Fever's defense hasn't shown they can stop her. Offensively, Indiana actually ranks higher, 3rd in scoring and 2nd in field goal percentage, but that was with Clark. Vegas is heating up, and defensively both teams are below average, setting us up for a high-scoring affair. When it comes to pace, both teams top 3 in tempo over their last 5 games. Rebounds are nearly dead even. Slight edge to Indiana, but not enough to swing the matchup. The spread opened at -1 for Vegas. Now it's -2.5. Total jumped up 3 points to 163.5. Money is heavy on Vegas. 85% of the money is backing the Aces to get it done. The season series is 1-1, but here's the twist. The Fever beat Vegas by 27 earlier this month. However, the Aces are a different team now, and Indiana was healthier then. The Aces have covered the spread in 5 of their last 6 wins, while the Fever have failed to cover in 4 of their last 5. All signs point to the Las Vegas Aces covering the -2.5. Too much Ajah, too much momentum, and not enough Caitlin. Projected score, Aces 88, Fever 88. Now let's dive into Thursday's matchup between the Los Angeles Sparks and the Connecticut Sun, tipping off at 7 p.m. Eastern at Mohegan Sun Arena. The current spread favors the Sparks at -5.5, and all signs are pointing to them not just covering, but winning by a decent margin. The Sparks enter this game with a 9-14 record, but momentum is finally swinging their way. They've scored over 90 points in 3 straight games, and are fresh off a 93-86 win over the Washington Mystics. Derica Hamby has been the steady engine in the frontcourt, but it's been the emergence of Kelsey Plum as a scoring leader and floor general that's pushed this offense to another gear. The Sparks have shown they can generate offense at a high level. Meanwhile, the Connecticut Sun have hit rock bottom. At 3-19, they hold the worst record in the league and are in the middle of a 3-game losing streak. Their latest defeat came against Indiana in a game where they gave up 85 points. While Tina Charles has been a force in the paint, the Sun are simply not able to keep up with teams that push the pace and shoot efficiently. 2 things the Sparks have been doing well of late. Injuries play somewhat a role in this one. The Sparks will of course continue without Cameron Brink. Connecticut has no timeline for the return of Marina Mabrey, their 2nd leading scorer. Her extended absence continues to hurt the Suns' offensive rhythm and perimeter threat. Statistically, the Sparks have the edge in almost every major category. They average nearly 84 points per game to Connecticut's 73. They're shooting 45% from the field, a full 6 points higher than the Sun. even in the rebounding department, where Connecticut has typically been solid. The Sparks are keeping pace, and defensively, while neither team is elite, both give up over 85 points per game, which leans this matchup toward a shootout, one the Sparks are more equipped to win. Historically, Connecticut has owned this series, covering in 9 of the last 10 against LA. But that trend was broken in their last meeting on July 13th, when the Sparks pulled off a 92-88 win as 10.5-point underdogs. That kind of reversal isn't a fluke. It's a signal that the Sparks have turned a corner, and Connecticut hasn't. With more consistent scoring, sharper ball movement, and a clear momentum edge, the Sparks are the side to trust here. Connecticut has failed to prove they can string together complete games, and against a surging Sparks team, that's going to be exposed. Zone 6 pick, Sparks 88, Sun 80. Take the Sparks minus 5.5 and ride the hot hand. Now let's wrap up the slate with a deep look at the matchup between the Seattle Storm and the Chicago Sky. Tipping off at 8:30 in Chicago, the spread has moved aggressively in Seattle's favor, currently sitting at minus 9.5. And based on everything we've seen recently, this line movement makes sense. The Seattle Storm come into this one at 14-10, and looking to bounce back after a lopsided and embarrassing home loss to Dallas, where they fell 87-63. But what stands out most is Seattle's ability to respond. They're 7-2 straight up following a loss this season, with 6 of those bounce-back wins coming by 6 or more points. That resilience speaks to their depth, coaching, and their identity as a playoff-caliber team. On the flip side, the Chicago Sky are in a rough place. They've dropped 3 straight games and have been outscored by a total of 73 points in those losses. That includes blowouts at the hands of Minnesota and Dallas. Offensively, they've struggled to find rhythm, and defensively, they just haven't had the stops. Even with Angel Reese earlier in the year, this was a team scraping for consistency, and now, potentially without her and several other key players, they're clearly undermanned. Statistically, the edge is heavily in Seattle's favor. The Storm allow just 78.5 points per game, compared to Chicago's 86.5. That's a significant gap, especially when you look at field goal defense. Seattle holds opponents to just 43% shooting, while the Sky are allowing 44.5%. Offensively, Seattle is only slightly ahead in points per game, but their efficiency and ability to capitalize off mistakes, ranking 4th in the league in points off turnovers, gives them a meaningful advantage. Chicago, meanwhile, ranks dead last in that category, converting just 11.3 points per game off turnovers. From a tempo standpoint, both teams operate at a middle-of-the-pack pace, which means this won't necessarily be a track meet. But the Storm's structure, ball control, and physicality should be enough to control the flow throughout. Injuries also tilt this matchup. The Sky are without Ariel Atkins, Michaela Onyenwer, Courtney Vandersloot, possibly but not likely as she's listed as game-time decision. Angel Reese, and lastly, Marquesha Davis. That's key rotation players unavailable. Seattle is missing Katie Lou Samuelson, while Skylar Diggins is questionable, but overall, they're in far better shape. Historically, Seattle has controlled this matchup. Chicago has covered plus 9.5 just once in the last 7 meetings against the Storm. And given their current trajectory, there's little reason to believe that trend changes now. The bottom line is this: Seattle is the deeper, although inconsistent, but more of a complete team. Their bounce-back record, defensive edge, and overall health make them the sharp side. Lay the points with the Storm. Zone 6 final score prediction: Seattle Storm 85, Chicago Sky 73. Now here's your quick and confident recap of tonight's WNBA picks from Zone 6. Las Vegas Aces minus 2.5 over Indiana Fever. The Aces are rolling with momentum and face a Fever team missing Caitlin Clark. Aja Wilson's dominance and Vegas' recent form make them the stronger side. LA Sparks minus 5.5 over Connecticut Sun. The Sparks are surging offensively, while the Sun continue to struggle with injuries and inconsistency. LA looks poised to cover comfortably. Seattle Storm minus 9.5 over Chicago Sky. Seattle has a strong bounce-back record and a major advantage on both ends of the floor. Chicago's potential injury-riddled lineup won't be enough to keep this one close. Zone 6 fam, we've locked in 3 sharp picks tonight, and after a tough loss or two, this is the kind of slate we bounce back on strong. If you're rocking with the picks, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to tap in for the full breakdowns. We don't fold, we adjust, reload, and return stronger. Let's bounce back and cash out together. Ain't that right, Zone 6?
Man, you ain't speaking nothing but facts. Let's get it back, Zone 6.